Hi everybody, this is Angelo Quinones and you reach out ministries. Now we're trying to prove, and we're doing it very well according to the scriptures, very clear teaching verses, that the same body that's sown into the ground, or whatever the case may be, in an in a tomb, whatever the case may be, that body will come forth. The same body will come forth, but it will have different characteristics. That body that was sown is going to be was sown in corruption, number one. Number two, dishonor. Number three, weakness. We saw the Greek words all across the board in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 42 and 43. So we saw that spedetai is the Greek word for it is sown, and gedetai is the Greek word for it is raised. So we see that the it, okay, in the it is raised deal, okay, goes back to the body that was sown into the ground, or whatever the case may be. Now we said that Jehovah's Witnesses can use the word spiritual, or spiritual body, verse 44 of chapter 15 of 1 Corinthians. So what about that, Angelo? Well, don't you think that it doesn't mean that it means? Don't you think that it means that is not a physical, tangible body? It's not the same body that went into the ground, even though it says so. But spiritual, what about that, Angelo? And I brought him to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 3 and 4, where it clearly states that, the drink and the food and the rock were spiritual. Okay? Pneumatikon, spiritual. Okay? Just because something is called spiritual doesn't mean it doesn't have substance. And we saw that. Now we came to Job's statement, excuse me, in verses 25, 26, and 27 of Job chapter 19, and we saw that even though his skin is destroyed, now the word for skin we already saw, okay, is ori, my skin, okay, my skin, ori. And we saw the spelling of this, okay, tagged by 5,785, the Strong's number. I'm right there to basically the second word on the left of the first word on the top right. Okay, that's how you read Hebrew from right to left anyway, unless you're breaking up the syllables and you read from left to right. But when you want to read it, you read it from right to left. Ori is the Hebrew word here, spelled out ayin. It looks like a Y. It's not a Y. Okay, ayin is a silent letter. It can't. I believe it can make a G letter as well, but let's just call it peculiar for now because that's what Zondervan says it is. Okay, so this is a peculiar letter, I should say, not word. And so ayin is a silent word, but it can make other sounds. So after that, you have a vav or a waw with an O-class dot. When you see a dot over a letter, well, then you're most likely looking. Okay, I mean, there's other emphasis and stuff like that, and stress. Symbols to stress out syllables and emphasis and all that stuff. But when there's a dot, for the most part, if you see a dot overneath a consonant, you're looking at an O class called holum. Okay, holum O class. You understand what I'm saying? Like in the word, okay, Oakland or something like that. You understand? So, and I hope they don't win out. By the way, I hope the Yankees stay in first place. They're staying in first place by one game. But anyway, that's just And then so you have the resh. Okay, which is the R. It looks to the other way in Hebrew. That's underneath the 5 in 5,785. So that R is looking to the west. Okay, R looks to the east, if you will. You understand what I mean? And so, so the thing is that you have an I class underneath the R. So that's re, but not so fast. You have a yod after that, sort of stressing out the pronunciation of the I into an E sound. Okay? So, ori, my skin. Though my listen, it says of it, and after, okay, my skin, ori for skin, okay, is, worms destroy. Worms is not here. Okay? Destroy, you kind of figure out that the one that did the destroying, or the ones that did the destroying of the skin are the worms. Okay, you just take it for face value. And so the word for destroy is nikpu, spelled out nun, and that's the Hebrew letter N, like in Nancy, and with an I class again. So that's ne. Okay, and so you have nid there. And then the reason why is nick is because the next letter to the left of it, which is the pay, okay, you understand what I'm saying? It's a hardening doggage in the pay, by the way, so it's put, not like phone, has a schwa underneath it. It's two dots. It's sort of on top of each other, if you will. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like the Braille B, okay, the B in Braille. It looks exactly like this, the B in Braille. I know Braille. I'm legally blind. And so I forgot grade 2, but anyway, what are you going to do? And so when that happens, the schwa underneath the second letter, well, then sometimes you have to be careful with modern Greek with that. That's not so rigid. Sometimes, okay, that's one syllable, nick or nick. And then you have, I said pay. Did I say pay? That's kof. I'm sorry about that. It's kof. The second letter is a kof. It's not a pay. The pay is coming up. So that's kof. Okay, so sorry about that. It's a kof. Okay, and so that's just it. As a matter of fact, okay, this is a doubling consonant here. That's a doubling doggage. So let me just take what I said back. Let's just start from after the ne. That is a kof, and that's a q. Okay, right under the 36 in 5,362. Okay, under the word destroy. Okay, now that's a kof, that's a Q. So I apologize for that. So that's nick, and that's a Q. And then, what's happening here? Okay. And then, so the upcoming letter after the kof, after the Q, is a pay. Okay, it's a pay. And then it has the vav after that. It has a shurek, it's a U class, and so that's u. That's a so you have, pu. Okay, so nick pu. So that means destroy. This, it says zot for this. Okay, and then check this out. Okay, body yet in my flesh. Okay, yet in my flesh. So you have over here a nu, or actually a vu, and then you have a preposition me. Okay, and then you have the word basari for my flesh. The regular construction for this is basar, which means flesh. But wait a minute, he said that the worms are going to destroy his ori, his skin. You see? 5,785. Job says, listen, I have skin, that's going to be destroyed. But yet in my flesh, what is he talking about? He didn't say, yet in my spirit I shall see God. He said, yet in my flesh. Okay, now that's talking about when the Redeemer stands upon Mount of Olives. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? To the end of days. Basari, okay? And the two shall be one flesh, echad basar. Basar, that's the same word for flesh over there in verse 24, chapter 2 of Genesis, book of Bereshit. Basar. Basar. Okay, if you want to say, oh. Okay, you understand? So, vu mi basari. Yet in my flesh. You understand? But wait a minute, but he said the skin is destroyed. What's the deal? You see why we can't trust Kingdom Hall? I mean, I never was in Kingdom Hall, but I'll never trust them just because Mark from Missouri wants me to change. No way. Too much evidence against you guys that there's a Trinity, Naaseh, Menu, Nerda, Lanu. Come on. And then the deity of Christ, Hakuriasmu, Hateasmu, okay, Tu Theu. Come on, man. And Archein Halagas, Kai Halagas in Prostantian, Kai Theas in Halagas, or in the Hebrew, Bereshit Haya Hadavar, Vahadavar Hayaim, Ha Elohim, Ba Elohim Haya Davar. John 1:1 in Hebrew. Come on, get lost. Now, let's look at the hope that JWs don't have. Okay, when their loved ones die, they just die. They're as good as dogs. They're not going to see them again, according to them. You understand what I'm saying? That's a shame. That's a shame, man, that you don't have any hope, and now you're giving your children no hope. You're giving them nothing. So they die without hope, and then their children go to hell because of you. Then the whole generations of children go to hell because of you. You're a disgusting shame and a disgrace. That's what you are. You really are. You're a dead, rotten, dirty, low-down, two-faced, double-crossing, skirt-wheeling, pants-walking shitter. And that's to the women and the men of the tower. You have no hope, and then you're you want everybody to have no hope like you dogs. You dog, you flea. All right, so that's just a deal. Let's look at the hope that we have, though. You understand what I'm saying? Let's look at it. That's, I think, verse 16. Is it verse 16? Let's check it out. It says over here in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16, for the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice. Okay, now, actually, he even said something before that. For this we say to you. Okay, for if we believe. Let's go even before that. There we go, verse 13. But we do not want you to be uninformed or ignorant, brethren. It says over here, about those who are, asleep, so that you will not grieve as do the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society. The rest who have no hope. You understand what I'm saying? And the other cults and sects. Verse 14, for if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, bodily, by the way, the spirit was raised. The spirit doesn't have to be raised. The spirit of Jesus was in Sheol, preaching to the unbelievers at the time of the flood. You understand what I'm saying? That were disobedient at the time of the flood. 1 Peter chapter 3. What you talking about? For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so God will bring, with him, meaning with Jesus, those who have fallen asleep in Jesus. It doesn't say in union with Jesus, by the way. You understand what I'm saying? In union with Jesus. In other words, saying Jesus is really dead, so we can't be in union with him. What do you think, we're stupid, though? We're not stupid. Now, verse 15, for this we say to you, by the word of the Lord, that we who are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord will not precede, those who have fallen asleep. Meaning those will be first. Verse 16, for the Lord himself, the archangel Michael, does it say that? Does it say it? No. For the Lord himself will, descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Now, I can come to your town with the sound of Elvis Presley. This doesn't mean I'm Elvis. You understand what I'm saying? I can come with a boombox. You understand what I'm saying? Playing blue suede shoes, and that's all right, mama. You understand what I'm saying? She ain't no good for you. The tower ain't good for you, Sean. You know it's true. That's all right. That's all right, mama. You told me the Watchtower ain't good for you. What's that? Then we who are alive and remain will be caught up together in annihilation. Does it say that? No, with them in the, you understand what I'm saying? In the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air. And so we shall always be with the Lord. You see, we have a relationship, a love relationship that you don't have. You ain't got no hope. You have nothing after this life, according to you folks. Ecclesiastes 9:10. It's just saying that you're not going to be planning to go to Kingdom Hall. You ain't going to have no car. You ain't going to have no wife. You ain't going to have no kiddies in hell. No planning, no picnics, you understand? None of that rodeo garbage in the Kingdom Hall, no more. And that's the scar. This is Angelo Quinones giving the glory to the God of Israel. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Thank you.